Band, co-producer of the Sedona Showcase, Carrie Cabaret.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Hey, do you know that today is Lincoln's 200th birthday? I think that's worth noting. And tomorrow is Friday the 13th. And in addition to that, you know, it's so much fun to set sound on a mic where everybody speaks differently. How's that? That's better for me. So, and then we have Valentine's Day coming up on Saturday. Happy hearts to everybody. So I'm going to tell you a little story. It's all about love. This is actually a piece that comes from true life experience. Back in my youth, when I was 16 years old, I moved into my first commune. And I had a lot of really wonderful, wayward friends. And we all had all sorts of fun taking everything that came under the sun. And so this one day, we're sitting around and we're all like totally tripping. And I had this one friend, his name was Kevin Porter. Now, Kevin Porter was a merchant marine and a seaworthy guy and Mr. Know-It-All, kind of a Mr. Wizard kind of guy. And he was always so serious and significant and impressing us with his wisdom. So this one day, we're sitting around the house, and I got to preface this story just a little bit. In this commune, there was about 10 different people that lived. And one of the friends, his name was Ron. Ron worked for NOAA, the National Oceanic and whatever, you know, atmospheric assholes, whatever they're doing out there. Anyway, he'd leave for months at a time, and he'd come back. So on this one particular trip, he leaves and he comes back, and he happens to come back and gift the house with a spider monkey. Now, you know, I don't know if you've ever hung around spider monkeys, but they're a pretty interesting house pet. So anyway, the little condo was built, the accommodation was made for what became Gimli, and this was based on the Hobbit stories or whatever, okay? So Gimli lived in the house for about a year, and Ron went back out to sea. So then Ron comes back from sea the next time and decides that Gimli needed a mate. So now we have Galadriel. So now we have two spider monkeys in the house. And, you know, given monkeys being and monkeys do, Gimli, you know, he immediately sensed something was really interesting in his new condo. And he was picking up the whiff, you know, he's like, he's smelling all this. He's got it. There's something happening there. But the problem was, for Galadriel, this lasted about 15 seconds. And the door was shut. The window was closed. And Gimli only had this shit up his nose, and he didn't know what to do with it anymore. Now, she was okay cuddling him. You know, they'd be all cute in the cage and all that. You know, and they'd be all like warm under the heat light, but she wasn't going to give him any. She just never gave him any. Now this is pretty frustrating for Gimli. So now you know about the spider monkeys. So let's go back to this one day in the house when we're all sitting and tripping. Kevin is telling us some worldly story. The cage is open, the monkeys are out. Gimli happens to be perched up on Kevin's shoulder. Now this wasn't unusual, they were really kind of cuddly creatures, and he's up there and he's stroking his hair and he's playing with his ear, and Kevin's sitting there all significant and telling us worldly stories. So time goes on, we're sitting there. All of a sudden, Kevin totally freaks out, man. He jumped up and screamed and started running. The monkey is gonzo, man. He's chasing the monkey all around the house. Now at this point, we've kind of figured out what was going down. What was actually happening is that Gimli was making love to Kevin's ear. He was getting some, and he's stroking his hair, playing with his ear, and he shot a load in his ear and freaked Kevin out. I mean, we're all tripping on acid. I mean, it took us 4 hours to come down off of just that one joke. I mean, we couldn't stop laughing. It was messing us up. So anyway, I just thought that might be an appropriate story for Valentine's Day because it was monkey love. It was all monkey love. Yeah. So I want to tell you another story real quick and how this show actually started.